60-inch tub and shower enclosures just $4.95 each. Don't pay big box prices, but hurry, limited quantities available. You better get it when you see it at West Yellowknife.
You know, we do the restaurant report card every week here on Local 3, a chance for you to see how our area restaurants are doing. But who are the people behind the inspections? Well, you're going to meet the manager, actually. This morning, this is Ryan Brown. He has been with the Hamilton County Health Department for 10 years, right?
Correct.
You began as one of those inspectors yourself, and now you're the manager.
Yeah, so I've been inspecting for about 10 years, and now I'm manager over 7 inspectors who we inspect over 1,800 food establishments. So that includes food trucks, that includes restaurants, fast food restaurants, fine dining restaurants, caterers, all sorts of things.
But sadly, it does not include our own individual kitchens, and that's what you wanted to talk about because the month of September is food safety awareness time. So we probably have a lot of things lurking in the pantry and the refrigerator that we might not need to keep.
Yes, so I mean, we have all of the restaurants, but there are so many more houses and homes and kitchens where folks are cooking for themselves and need to be aware about how they're handling food, how to check to make sure that the food is safe, that they're serving to their friends and family, especially now that football and tailgates and parties are happening. We want to make sure that the food that folks are serving in their home, that they know what to do correctly.
I would think also an issue now that you're facing, Ryan, is the cost of food. People are going to be more likely, I would think, to hold on and maybe try to stretch that time line a little bit longer to save $1.
Yeah, so it's important to make sure that the food that you're serving, if you've cooked food, chicken wings or rice and beans or anything like that, we generally go by 7 days maximum to keep them in your refrigerator.
Okay, well that's
once
not
you get
so bad.
Close to that 7 days, bacteria starts growing to a harmful level that could get people sick. So generally the faster you go through food, the safer it'll be.
Okay, if we're talking 7 days, let me ask you this. If you buy any kind of a dairy product, well, really anything, anything has a sell-by date on it. There is a difference in the sell-by date and the use-by date, isn't there?
There is. It gets a little complicated because each food is different in that, and those are general safe practices. So a sell-by date, you probably still have several days after that. A use-by date, it's not maybe specific to exactly when you have to throw out the food, but if you're getting close to that day, think about using it.
Sure.
Think about eating it. The earlier you can eat it and use it, the safer it'll be.
So if you're going to buy a gallon of milk and the sell-by date is September 13th, but if it's still there for you to buy, that means you've probably got at least 4 or 5 days to use it. Is that right?
Probably. And milk and dairy products, a safe practice for that is just smelling it. Honestly, you'll know instantly if it's gone bad.
My dad was a grocer. He had grocery stores, and there's a meat market there at the back of the store. And one of the things I grew up always hearing was that of all of the meats, hamburger is the one to turn the fastest. Is that true? If you don't freeze it and just keep it in your refrigerator, you don't have a lot of time to use it, do you?
Yeah, it's different with different meats and different products like that. And so, yeah, meat can go bad pretty quickly, but I think if folks get it and know that they're going to use it within that week, it's probably going to be safe.
What about produce?
Yeah, produce generally has a longer shelf life, and what we do is when we're inspecting restaurants or if I'm looking in my fridge, you can do a sight test and look at the product to see, is it wilted? Has it molded? Has it gone bad? Does something with the texture look different? But yeah, it's a little bit different than meats.
You know, we tend to think about things like boxes of macaroni and cheese and rice and stuff not having an expiration time, but do they even too?
Well, most of the time they're safe for a long time. They've been treated, and in the processing of that food, it gives it a very long shelf life.
Okay, breads, just watch for the mold?
Watch for the mold, make sure the sight test for that is plenty.
And what about the fruits? Like I have on my kitchen counter, I have a dough bowl and I keep cuties and you know, fruit and stuff in there. And sometimes I'll notice that my lemons and things will turn pretty quickly. They don't they look pretty, but they don't last as long as when they're in the refrigerator.
Yeah, definitely refrigerating fruits, while it's not necessary, it does prolong the shelf life of them. So any produce that you have, while it might be safe for setting at room temperature, keeping it in the fridge will extend that life. What we like to talk about a lot with restaurants and with folks is really hand washing and cleaning. I think a lot of people, they know how important hand washing is, but I always say however much you're washing your hands, triple it, and then you're close to where you might need to be.
Really?
Yes.
And obviously if you've been cutting any kind of raw meat on a cutting board, just either really soak it in hot water or just go ahead and put it in the dishwasher?
Yes, so that's another really important thing, especially in the home. If you're handling chicken, raw ground beef, raw pork, any raw meats, even eggs, if you've handled it at all, you need to thoroughly wash your hands and make sure you're not cross-contaminating anything. So the cutting board that you use for raw chicken or raw ground beef, you don't want to use that same cutting board to then chop up lettuce for a salad.
Right.
You've got lots of bacteria that can be transferred.
And then I think this is the point you made too, make sure you're washing everything before you use it. Right?
Yes, thoroughly washing in your home with soap and water, hot water, and making sure you're getting all of the debris off and not having any cross-contamination.
Okay, so y'all do have so many hats that you wear there at the health department. I mean, it's a lot that they encompass. If anybody has a question, if they're afraid that maybe they did eat a food that was bad, can they contact you or should they just call their doctor?
Well, we have our website that has lots of good food safety information on it. And if they have a concern about restaurants that they've eaten at and maybe feel sick afterwards, they definitely can call us.
Okay.
And then, yeah, we are more than happy to answer questions about food safety. It's kind of what we do every day.
I'm a leftover girl. I like to eat leftovers. So
Same.
to know that I can eat them for a week is a nice thing to hear.
Yes.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Here's where you can contact the health department. The number that you see on your screen, 209-8110, that is specifically for the food inspection department, right?
Correct. Yes.
Ryan Brown is the manager, and just watch for them around town at area restaurants. They're doing their job to keep us all safe.
Thank you.
Begin your exciting career in broadcasting today. Visit the Tennessee Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair for opportunities in the broadcast industry and positions here at Local 3. Apply online now at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
Not everybody gets to change the lives of others for the better, but you can. With a career as a